Hello and welcome to the Watering Hole. Thanks for checking out this clip. Don't forget to like and subscribe because that'll make the baby Jesus cry, and I know how much you guys love making the baby Jesus cry. It says undead, whatever that fucking second word is. I don't know. I don't care. Where are we? There we go.
I can barely see any of that because it's artifacted really bad on Zoom.
Oh.
So it looks like undead Odysseon.
It's Odalisque? Odalisque. Okay. So, ladies, for the love of God, why are you trying to get the left body instead of the right one? And on the left is a picture of a woman she looks lovely, and she is on the skinny side. And on the right is an AI-generated woman with tits that are too big to fit the proportions properly. And I'm sure if I look closer, there'd be all sorts of other AI nonsense. Yeah, I can actually. I just noticed
that the hair is molded into the bra.
I just noticed that her hair is her bra somehow.
Women, why are you trying to get this AI generated body? Well, probably because that body is AI generated, and the body that most women have is the body that they were born with. Like, I don't know what the actual question here is.
Well, so. My first thought when I saw this was so when I hear the phrase unrealistic expectations for women, my first thought is oh, that's referring to people who are models, who it is their job, they are paid to stay in shape and look good. And then after they take pictures of these people whose entire job is to just stay in shape and then stand there looking good while they take pictures of them, they then take those pictures into Photoshop and edit them more to make them look even better. And that is completely unrealistic because women don't get there. Well, it would be anyone. Unless you are a model or something similar, you are not paid exclusively to just stay in shape and then be there for the camera. And I need a hat now, apparently. So you can take my rant about women's rights and unrealistic expectations seriously. So
wizard said it.
Yeah, so that's what I think when I think of unrealistic expectations for women. But then this guy just and you'll notice that the profile picture appears to be a woman. It's a guy. We'll get to that. This guy just straight up posts AI generated images, literal fake images, and says this is what women should aspire to become. What?
I don't think they should aspire to become that.
It can't possibly be any more unrealistic expectations-wise than literally generating a fake image that cannot possibly be real and saying, this is what I want. It's ridiculous. I have a couple more tweets from this person. So, when someone clarified that, hey, turns out women have different bodies from each other, and they behave differently when they put on weight. It doesn't all go to the tits. Some of them have bellies. Some of them have asses. Some have thighs. Some have all of the above. Some have a mixture of other, whatever. There are different body types. Fat goes to different places for different people. So, not everybody can do that with their bodies. To which this person replied with different women hold weight in different ways, which means they shouldn't all aim for the same target, but the left the left not being the political left, the left being the person on the left here. So the left is a bad example for everyone. No woman looks the best at that weight.
What?
She looks fine.
She looks fine. She looks fine. What? Okay, so the woman on the left, if we were to scrutinize, if we were to super scrutinize, I can see just from the artifacting in the image, it looks like she's got abs that we can see.
Yeah.
She's got toned muscles.
Mm-hmm.
And
also,
she's got a chest.
Also, we have to keep in mind that this is also, it appears to be a candid picture. This is not a posed picture. This is just a random shot.
This is just as she is.
Yeah, so nobody looks their best when you just snap a random picture when they're not ready for it.
And yet, what we can tell from this picture, she's got long hair. The hair looks healthy. She's got toned muscles. She's got abs that are visible. And it doesn't look like she's unhealthy in any way, shape, or form. I don't see what's not aspirational about that, compared to the other image. I don't get it.
Yeah. No, but anyway, but then they follow that up with like breast surgery can be very effective and women with a poor fat distribution should consider
Wait,
it. So they're
wait.
literally saying that women should get surgery to try and look like the AI generated woman. Like if that's unrealistic for you,
Why?
get surgery. And so when I saw that, I immediately was like, "Oh, how much you want to bet that I could find on this person's timeline them talking about how horrible it is that trans women get mastectomies?" Because like here they are saying like, "Oh yeah, no, adults should be able to get surgery to get that." This is literally gender affirming surgery. If you're a woman and you want better looking boobs, you can get surgery. Because like I'm not going to judge people who have gotten cosmetic surgery because that's a thing that like
Whatever
it's
makes you feel
it's
better in your own
fine.
body.
Don't get cosmetic surgery because some jackass on the internet said that the woman on the left here is ugly. I'd rather have the fake one on the right. Like that's a bad reason to get surgery. But like if you're getting surgery because it's something that will give you fulfillment, go for it. But don't worry about this asshole on the internet, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But so I searched their timeline just for the word trans, and immediately this one came up. Trans surgery has a longer, richer history than most people are aware. Quote, women were not castrated, but were subjected to mutilation of the breast and external genitalia. The second coming of Christ would occur only when they reached the apocalyptic number of 144,000. So that's
Wait.
it's a weird quote. They're,
What?
so they're referring to this weird cult that popped up in the 1800s that was obsessed with castrating people. And so there's this big long paragraph explaining them. And this was a quote about that. And this person is referring to that as though this is them doing trans surgery. Like, this is not trans surgery. This is a woman saying, if I chop my breasts off, then Jesus will come sooner.
Yeah,
But like to
this
compare
is 12 shades of weird.
trans surgery to that is just like gross. But while I was on this person's profile looking for the trans surgery thing, it turns out they have a whole ass website.
Oh?
Yeah, so and on that website there's an article called "Dispelling Beauty Lies: The Truth About Feminine Beauty." It's a long ass article, but there's a couple things that I want to touch on here.
Okay.
Really quick past those moves. We can read the intro because the intro's hilarious. Um, First off, hideous font. Can you even read that?
No, I can't.
Okay.
It's too artifacted on my end.
Okay, so it says the facts about feminine. Well, you know what? They were aware that this font that they used was hideous and hard to read, so right at the bottom of the intro it says, "Note, if you can't read the font, click the translate button above." So now I go above, and it says translate into the Occidental. And if I click it, it turns into a normal font that's readable, and then the translate button switches to translate into the Oriental. Like, what? This is Oriental? And this is Occidental? What? I don't even know what the thought process is that leads you to that.
It's confusing.
Yep. So the facts about feminine beauty are simple and intuitive, even obvious, but public discussion of the topic is dominated by lies that confuse many women. Oddly enough, intelligent women seem to be the most susceptible. That should be a hint to you, buddy. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, while I was on his timeline, I found out, like, the way I found out it's a guy, when I searched for trans, this person has this whole thing about how you can trans your profile using AI. So like he writes guides for men to make it look like they're women on the internet by using AI to generate a sexy female avatar for themselves. So yeah, think VTuber, but more scummy.
VTubers are already pretty scummy, though. Like,
Oh, someone
not
at the
even gonna
beginning
lie.
asked if I missed being a VTuber. I assume that they're referring to when I used my stationary rhino in my things. Yeah, the editing was a lot easier when I did that. A lot
They
easier.
also
So
might be referring to the The one
The
time you
one
decided
time
to use the
yeah,
them
no,
one.
I don't miss that. That was a fun little experiment, but like I don't even remember what the program is called. Last time I fucked it up. I meant to do it, but it just got fucked up, so whatever. Anyway, so intelligent women seem to be the most susceptible to these lies, which that should be a red flag that it's not them who are wrong. This makes it harder for them to attract mates, subjects them to misguided self-doubts, and even damages their health. Why do you think they want to attract mates? It's like, maybe women would be happier on their own, as studies have suggested they often are. Like, women are
If
better,
women,
statistically speaking, women are better than men at maintaining like adult relationships with friends, and they can often be more affectionate relationships. And this is not like this is not a definitive gender difference sort of thing. This is just culturally, men are trained as they're raised to like be a bit more distant, more they're less emotionally vulnerable with the people in their lives. So men will often rely on their wife to have that intimate connection that's like not necessarily like not a sexual intimacy but like an emotional intimacy and vulnerability, whereas women are more comfortable having that sort of thing with their friends. So a lot of time, like speaking from an emotional health standpoint, the women don't need us, we need them. So yeah, they're not trying to attract mates, they good. Well, I mean, like, and of course I'm speaking in generalizations here, so it's not always true. Of course there's going to be differences of opinions. Like, I happen to be partnered with someone who was trying to attract a mate, not a mate in the sense of trying to make more kids, because we got enough of those things. Are you still there? Has the stupid short circuited your brain?
yes.
Okay.
I'm trying not to speak too much or too often
Yep.
because throat is what it is.
Fair point. Occasionally just do a little so I know that there isn't like
Grunt.
I just want to make sure that I don't like I'm not talking into the void and our Zoom is disconnected. And anyway, so their efforts to improve their appearance are in vain because they aim at the wrong target. All too often, they simply give up on a game they could win if they understood the rules. What if they're not playing the same game as you? If they're just playing a different game, then maybe like if they are playing a different game and you're trying to get them to do certain things, then maybe it's you who doesn't get the rules because you're not even in the same game. But for fear of being impolite, the men never correct their illusions. Sure. In this comprehensive article, I'll dispel the confusion and tell you the straight truth about feminine attractiveness. In the closing section, I'll offer some practical advice. So yeah, this article, I'm just gonna scroll down really quick so we can see how long it is. Like, look how quick it's going, and it's mostly like AI women that he's generated, and it's still. I'm not even halfway down yet.
Swear AI was a mistake, mostly because like stealing people's
Like,
artwork is one of the biggest reasons, but like the fact that there are people who have never known the touch of a
I'm
woman
still not even halfway down.
and this is what they do with their time now with AI. How do you spend this much time?
I'm about halfway down now. That was half the article. All that scrolling. Um, but yeah, there's a couple things. Okay, I need to get back to our chat to see the things that I was sending you. Okay, we gotta find. Even the most beautiful and self-assured women will lie, whether to guard their secrets, to sabotage their. Oh no, that's not the one I wanted.
What?
There's...
This sounds like
Oh,
biblical
yeah.
gender roles.
Oh, maybe it's the same guy. I could see that. Yeah. So, men's ignorance about makeup is similar to their ignorance about surgery. Don't be misled. Those who claim to prefer women without makeup actually prefer natural-looking makeup, but don't realize it. The reality is that women look better in makeup. Men's beauty advice is sometimes hard to distinguish from sabotage, he writes completely unironically.
Guy,
In a, like, 1,000-page screed allegedly giving women beauty advice.
oy,
And,
oy, oy.
And then a little bit later on, he makes the moral case for cosmetics, where maximizing your attractiveness is now a moral imperative, regardless of the means employed.
What?
Wearing makeup is a moral imperative. Getting a boob job is a moral imperative. Um, but what I find most amusing here is down here, he's got this picture, and the caption on that is evidence of good moral character. Do you recognize who that is
No, I
by
don't
chance?
actually.
So that is Ava Green, and that in and of itself, who fucking cares? Specifically, this is Ava Green as portrayed in the movie. Oh God, what was it called? I forget what the movie was called. It was from 2003, um, and it was a movie where she was the sister in a borderline incestuous relationship with her brother. Incestuous is what
Okay.
I said there. Kind of slurred it. I'm not even drinking tonight. I just slur normally. So the character that is being shown here with the caption evidence of good moral character was having an incestuous relationship and an erotic triangle thing with her brother and another dude. And the movie ended with them throwing Molotov cocktails at police. Which, like, yeah, nowadays with what we know about police, you could say that that's good moral character, but I feel like this guy would disagree. I just find it
Good moral character is not trusting the
I
cops.
just I just find it intensely amusing that he took what was very clearly supposed to be a morally gray character and then just slapped it on here with the caption evidence of good moral character because it's so obviously good moral character because she's putting makeup on and that's a moral imperative so you can ignore the fact that she's throwing Molotov cocktails at people. Anyway,
Jesus Christ.
yeah, so that's the tweet rabbit hole that I went down with this one fucking guy.
So I guess instead of beginning this section as tweets like normal, I'll just have to accept that this one area is just its own video.
Maybe. The Dreamers. That was the movie. Yes. The Dreamers 2003.